Well, hello, and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Uh, I hope everyone's having a lovely Thursday. I have a new step that I have to do when I start stream, and that's that I have to mute the starting soon music when I say hi, because it turns out I only have the Epidemic sound license for one YouTube channel, and I put VODs on a YouTube channel now, which is a different YouTube. Anonymous! Hello? What the heck?
Oh hell yeah, the ghost egg just subscribed.
Anonymous, thank you very much indeed for gifting us up to Marianne. Also, hi Marianne, thank you very much for the work lurk. Here are my hands. Hello. Lovely to see y'all. Welcome on in. Turn up also, hello, welcome on in, and Eddie, hello. Lovely to see y'all. Hope you're having wonderful Thursdays. I'm having a lightly sweaty Thursday because it is quite warm in here, and I just made myself 2 hot cups of tea. Because I'm just whimsical like that. I don't know. Anyways. Hello, jump scare, says Eddie. Oh, I hope you weren't too severely jump scared. I was jump scared. Goodness gracious. Thank you very much, Anonymous. That was very, very sweet. Anyways, it's been a day, hasn't it? I haven't filled my paint water, which is a great start. Is there a water? Sometimes there's just a little, bottle of water here. And I don't think there is right now, which is fabulous. So I'm going to have to go do that at some point. But I don't have to do that yet, because I'm going to fill in some books first. And then we'll paint. I do have a started painting as well, so you're not just looking at books. I'm so together. My mod/spouse is what? Oh, is the ice? I found it. There is a bottle of water. It's even labeled as such, which is very useful. All H2O. Nice. Thanks, babe.
I mean, I was going to just put water in your thing, but you know.
I don't need it. I don't need it yet. So, anyways, I love you, Sunshine.
Love you.
That was my moderator/spouse. Everyone, the nicest and loveliest person to ever exist. But anyways, yes, I have exciting news. That seems suspicious, says Eddie. I've tried it. It's legit, believe it or not. I know it's pretty sus, but Eddie says hello. I don't know if he can hear me. He's gone into the other room, but I'm sure he says hello as well. Anywho, hi. I hope y'all are having a good Thursday. My Thursday is pretty, it's been, honestly, actually Sledge, my darling.
Oh hell yeah, Sledge Callier just subscribed. 36 months. That's almost a year.
Almost a year. Can you believe? Excellent timekeeping, my dearest darling. And thank you for the hype train. Thank you. What an absolute sweet pea of a human being you are. Oh, thank you for the sub. 36 months. That is a very long time. That is almost a year. I don't know what to do with that information. Anyways, enjoy your emotes and stuff, including our most recent, which I am inordinately fond of this little ananas. Look at him go. Wee. Bonjour. Here is a real life reenactment of that emote. Hold on. I angled it a bit bad. Let me try that again. Okay. Yay, I did it. Anana, the sweet little friend who holds my paintbrushes and is a French-Canadian pineapple. Anywho, thank you for spamming the ananas, y'all. I'm glad you enjoy them. Oh, goodness gracious. And thank you very much for the hype train. It's nice. It makes me feel good about the stream. Anyways, yeah, what was I up to today? Yeah, announcement time for anyone who missed it or who isn't in the Discord. This is not a huge deal, and I don't expect anyone to, look at it. I don't know how else to explain. I don't expect anyone to, look at it, but just so you know, I do technically have a VOD channel now. It's not up to date. It mostly has one recent VOD, and then a whole bunch of old VODs of streams that I happened to have for some reason on, saved to my hard drive. on my laptop. But it does exist. And I will try and keep it updated with new VODs as they come out. Which, as I think I started mentioning up top, is going to be a little bit of a faff because I have an Epidemic Sound subscription, which I use for music for the stream and also music for my like regular YouTube channel, which is just the same username as this. But I only have the license to use Epidemic on one channel unless I want to pay £25 a month. And y'all, my YouTube channel is not even monetized yet, so I am not licensing a second channel. That is too much money. But that does mean that I have to do some faffing with more recent stream VODs before I can put them up, because I don't want them to get like copyright struck for having bits of Epidemic music in them that I'm not actually allowed to use on that channel. So I have to fix them first and then like remake the video and then upload it, because technically I can upload the video and then edit it from there, but I don't want the like illegal version to exist on YouTube in the first place and have it flag it up and be like, you're in trouble kind of thing. I would rather just have it be clean before it goes up. So I have to remember to mute the starting soon music before I say hello, so I have a nice clean break where I can start the VOD. Anyways, so that's a fun new thing that I'm doing. Thankfully, apart from that, though, to be honest, the making of the VODs is very, very little effort on my part, which is why I honestly don't think there's a ton of value for most people to VODs of my streams. And this isn't self-deprecating anyway. I just think that it's kind of like live radio. Like it's just there, and it is kind of ephemeral. You know, I don't know if there's as much sort of added value to it from like the average human person, when you're not sort of here and can interact with me if you want to, or lurking or whatever. But you know, as some people have, and by which I mean maybe 3 people have expressed interest, and honestly, 3 people saying, hey, we'd love it if you did this thing is oftentimes enough to convince me to do it. So thank you. Anyways, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea, which is, I'll tell you in a sec. I have not had this tea in a really long time, but this is a really weird, a really interesting, but a really nice, smooth, very dark pu'er tea that has coffee in it, which is, honestly, I didn't think it would go together as well as it does. But it's really smooth, and I have it sweet, and it just has that nice, how would I describe the flavor? Because it's fermented, but the fermentation, it turns out when you ferment tea leaves, it just makes it very smooth, and it takes away some of the like astringency and like the tannins that can be quite intense that you get with like regular black tea. So it's just very, very smooth, but also supposedly because it's fermented, it's also good for your tum-tum. And I've been having a tummy ache all day, so I was like, what do I have that I can drink that might make my tummy ache a little bit better? And I thought, I've got pu'er tea, good choice, and then I've got ginger tea as well. This is a ginger and lemongrass. Also very cozy. Doesn't taste super strongly of ginger, which makes me worry that there wasn't actually a lot of ginger root in like the teaspoon that I put in the strainer, but oh well, at least it's tasty and it's not going to make my tummy ache worse, so that's a good thing. Eddie says, long videos without breaks are honestly one of the only things I watch, and it's amazing for sleep in the background, so that's always nice. Oh, fantastic! Yay! I did note, I put up a couple, even though I have a YouTube channel, and I've had a YouTube channel for a couple of years, that I upload to periodically, I'm trying to work my way up to monthly uploads, but you know, when you have a regular job, and you also have live streams, and you have some semblance of an art business, and you're trying to write a screenplay, there's a lot of things going on. And so it's been hard to get like a regular upload schedule for it. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I've never made a YouTube short because I'm not a huge fan of a lot of short form content, and I don't think that the kinds of things that I do for YouTube work super well for it. But I figured since I have like some stream clips that are in vertical format because I put them onto Instagram, I thought I might just upload them as shorts as well. And one of them has, despite the fact that the channel has, I think, like 5 subscribers, including myself and my partner, it has like 100 some odd views, and I'm like, who's watching this? No! Stop looking at me! This isn't what I want you to perceive. Oh no! It's so weird. So I guess thank you, algorithm, but also, oh no. Anyways, so that was something that happened. But part of the reason that I mention it now is that hello? Samuel Perker, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. It's lovely to see you. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. I was just talking about YouTube VOD channel and short form content. What was I saying about short form content? Oh no. My train of thought has completely derailed itself. That's fine. I'll get back to it. No, maybe I won't. Anyways, it's fine. Moving on. This is a bookstore or a bookshop depending on where you're from. And I'll just bring it in here so you can actually see the tops of the little guys a little bit better. A couple little guys in the background just perusing the nature section, looking at a guide to bird watching or some such, and having a lovely old time together. Which I thought would be nice to do. And then I realized exactly how many books I'm going to have to draw in, and I managed to do like 2 bookshelves worth in the last couple of days to try and fill in a little bit. Nature section, says Sledge. Yeah, you know, like bird watching and you know, like trail guides maybe, I don't know, like that kind of thing. Like they want to go on hikes and visit and see some stunning vistas, that kind of thing. That kind of it's a bookshop. It'll have a nature section. The joy of birds. Not that kind of nature, sweetheart. Not that kind of, not the Dewey Decimal. 613, I believe it is. Am I right in thinking that 6, or is it 612? It's somewhere in the 600 teens though, I think. I think it's the 600 teens. Sorry, last stream we had a bit of shenanigans because I was just trying to remember what I worked in. So I worked in a library for over a decade. And I was just trying, and that was over a decade ago now, and I was trying to see if I could, how many, like, Dewey Decimal numbers I can still remember what, like, the classifications are for them, and the answer is kind of a lot. 641, cooking, food, cookbooks. There you go, there's one. Anyways. So yeah, that's where my brain went. Now then, I'm going to take another sip of my tea. 611 for human anatomy, 612 for human physiology. Oh yeah, because Grey's Anatomy also, but it's not just a TV show, turns out. And 613, so, okay, yeah, 613 for personal health and safety, so anything to do with personal intimacy falls under 613 for health topics, because that's what it is. Anyways, there was a period of time where just the way that, like, the sort of volume of books that we had shook out, the 613 health section was largely in sort of the back corner of the basement level of the library that I worked in, which meant it was the perfect place for, like, 12-year-old boys to go and look at all of the like, the joy of books and sort of snicker at the, you know, pictures of like 70s illustrations of nude people. Which is always super hilarious if you hear giggles coming from the back corner and you happen to sort of like poke your head around the corner and they're like, oh no, sorry, I was just looking at this book on psoriasis. Oh, interesting. I'll think about it. Yeah. It's like, we know exactly what you're doing. You're not, like, we know, it's fine. Anyways. Libraries are very important. I saw recently reports that there was a library, I think, not a library, but like libraries in, I want to say Birmingham or somewhere near like that area that, the council has had a massive funding cut, and so they've decided to just close half of the libraries in like the greater municipal area, and the other libraries are being like scaled down into library / information hubs, and I'm just like, y'all, I cannot begin to, I'm sorry to get on a soapbox here, and this is obviously, my bias in part because I used to work for one. But libraries are such an important resource. They really are. Even just for things like, I'm applying for a job and I need some place to print off a cover letter because they want me to bring a printed copy of my cover letter, and I don't have a printer at home. Like, sometimes the library is the only place that you can do that, I had to print something for my immigration application, and I wasn't going to be in the office between then and when I was going to my immigration appointment. And so I went to the public library in my neighborhood and I was like, hey, I just need to print something off. Can I use one of your computers? And they were like, yeah, sure. It costs like 20p to print a page. And I was like, wicked. Pop in my USB stick, print the thing, good to go. If there wasn't a library there, I don't know what I would have done. So, or even, stuff like trying to figure out how and where to apply for a job. Where else has computers where you can go do that? The library. So less of these is really disenfranchising a lot of people, not just people who maybe don't have home computers, and there are still people who don't have home computers, people who don't understand how to use the internet very well, exist and will always exist probably, and we need resources to make sure that they don't get left completely behind. But also, people with young children and stuff, the libraries are an invaluable resource, not just for getting books, but also programming activities, just having a bit of time outside of the house to interact with other people and let your child interact with other children when they're in their sort of early developmental years. That's super important. And also importantly, it's free, so it's not restricted to people who have good incomes, which is a pretty large proportion of people. Anyways, it's just another instance of a third space that is in many places being kind of squeezed out, and it's really sad because we need these. As a culture, you need third spaces. Anyways. Cozy. Let's get cozy. I wish I had libraries more close to me, says Eddie. Only downside to villages, not gonna lie. Absolutely. That is one of the, I think that is another one of the things that it's not even something that I thought of until you said it just now, but I've always been kind of the feeling that I am not a village life person. I know a lot of people are. A lot of people are like, oh, I couldn't live anywhere bigger than a place with 1,000 people. I couldn't live anywhere smaller than a mid-sized city because I very much, I don't have a car, so it's not easy for me to travel to places. I don't know how to drive because I don't think that I should know how to drive. I think actually a lot of people who do drive probably shouldn't drive. But a lot of the time, I think in smaller places, you are a little bit more, you're either car dependent, or sometimes you end up in a situation where there's not enough demand for a bus service to have it run more than once an hour. And it's a pokey local bus service that takes 45 minutes going through every single tiny village on the way into the city kind of thing. Unfortunately, a result of years of underfunding of public services by the Tory party. Why does anyone vote for them? They've clearly never done anything good. They're literally just mustache twirling villains at this point. Not to get political on stream, but that's just factual. Anyways, I'm gonna take another sip of my tea. Deliciousness. Okay, shall we draw in some bookies? Some happy little books. I am very much having a bit of thoughts, a bit of struggly thoughts, I think, on what I'm going to do with some of the features of this piece. Obviously, the bookshelves are going to be full of books. That's kind of a no-brainer here. But I don't know exactly what I want to do with the floor. Do I want to make it like carpet, or do I want it to be like hardwood? I don't know. I guess I could put a rug down, but then I have to figure out the logistics of putting a rug down in here. The floor is lava, says Sledge. Thanks, babe. That's definitely wise, but okay, yeah, are like the bottom bookshelves gonna have to be on fire? What about these two? They're touching the floor. That means they're dead. Oh no, I don't like this. It's so stressful. Anyways, all the books are fireproof. Okay, well then maybe the floor can be lava, thank you. Eddie says, oh, I get it. I adore my village life, but it's only possible due to me having a car and knowing how to drive. 40 minutes to work by car would otherwise be 2 hours public transport. Going shopping would be exhausting. There's definitely not a lot to do, but I definitely couldn't live in a big city. That is totally fair, and I think a lot of people agree with you. I am very much a big city baby. I grew up in like I would say like a mid-sized city out in a suburb, and I think because of that experience and because of the fact that I don't drive, technically I could conceivably go take a driving test, get a driving license. You know, we can't really afford a car, and where we live, it's really not practical to own one because you can't park anywhere because we live in a medieval city, as is my preference. But just because of the unique way my brain is funded, I have a lot of anxiety, and I also have an attention deficit. And both of these things lead to me knowing that, like, oh yeah, I also don't like surprises, and I don't always cope well with surprises. So I think the combination of these things, as well as a variety of other factors, mean that I would potentially be a very conscientious and dutiful and like good driver because I know I have an attention deficit, and therefore I am primed to overcompensate for that in situations that I know are serious. But someone else does something that I'm not expecting, I'm gonna be crying for the rest of the day. So
Sledge Callier cheered. X100. Surprise.
see, that's a pleasant surprise though, babe. Thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you. 100 biddies. Aw, thank you very much indeed. That was a pleasant surprise. That's allowed. Thank you. Oh, goodness gracious. I was meaning more surprises in terms of like someone makes an unannounced right turn in front of me, that kind of thing. Gonna not cope well with that. Anyways, Eddie says it's much better to know that you can't drive and not do it. That's my thinking, because I think there are a lot of people out there who probably shouldn't be driving and just do it anyways, because either because of a lack of self-awareness or because they feel like they need to, who probably shouldn't. I remember being driven somewhere by a friend of mine. She's going down the road at not an inconsiderable speed, and she's asking me, am I in a lane? Like, girl, you should be able to tell whether or not you're in a lane. I feel so safe right now, you know? Like, dude, no, it was horrible. Anyways, But yeah, sometimes self-awareness means recognizing your limitations and, you know, accommodating yourself within them, as well as, you know, believing in yourself and going for it. Sometimes believing in yourself means believing yourself when you believe that you shouldn't try to do something, and then don't do it. That's not normally a side of self-belief that they tell you about, but here we are. Oh God, says Eddie. I know. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways, trying to make heads or tails of what I was doing with this set of bookshelves. Like, was this... I've got sort of an archway of books over here that leads into this little sort of alcove at the back where these two are hanging out. But was this bookshelf holding it up? I think it maybe is. So some of these books I'm going to make a little bit... It's a slightly shorter shelf because this whole build is kind of jank. But some of these books are probably going to be... Don't quite come up all the way to here, but we've mostly sort of wodged some shorter books up in this one because it's a slightly short bookshelf, because whoever built it in like the 13th century, and they were like, you know, this is good enough. This is fine. This is all fine. I like the idea of doing one of these sort of antiquarian bookstores where none of the shelves match, because they've all been installed at different times, and they've all borne the weight of so many, like, you know, centuries of books that they've all gone a little bit wiggity wonky in the meantime. And that's my idea of fun, you know. So this shelf's a little bit taller, so maybe this is where we put some of our taller tomes, or maybe indeed we let some books be kind of stacked, like on the top of them as well, which one does sometimes. I'm looking forward to these bits where I have to actually figure out, because these ones are going sideways and sort of coming towards us or going away from us, depending on how you want to evaluate it, to work out how the book spines work. Perspective? What? Listen, I didn't go to art school. Are you freaking kidding me? What do you think I am? Some kind of a nerd? I mean, yes, I am a nerd. I'm just not a nerd who went to art school, because actually, because I genuinely considered it. But when I did go to university, I was planning to, like, at least pick up a couple of courses. Nerd in brackets affectionate, Eddie. I love you. I was planning to at least pick up a couple of courses in maybe like ceramics or photography, you know, just as part of the sort of elective component of my degree. And little did I know that they had phased the art program out, but it was still in like the program catalog. When you were like choosing your courses for your first year, they were like photography, ceramics 101. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do some cool stuff. And then I get there and it's like, wow, the fine arts school sure looks like no one is ever there. And also, because of reasons, I had to enroll for my courses fairly late, so the two classes that I'd actually signed on to do were both full. So I got an email from someone at the registrar's office, and they were like, yeah, we just put you in these two different classes. Is this okay? And that's how I ended up taking Italian in my first year. Was they were just like, here are the courses that are available. Cultural Studies 100 and, like, Introduction to Italian. Is that cool? And I was like, I guess. And that's how I ended up with a Cultural Studies degree. And knowing a small amount of phrases in Italian. I did actually do very well in that class. But I've never been to Italy, so I've never had to make use of any of it. But I do know how to pronounce the GL, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and I understand that, like, languages aren't everyone's forte, but it was a pet peeve of mine that, like, it was very much like drilled into us that the GL consonant formation is not a gl sound like it is in English. It's a l sound, right? So for instance, the like the plural article in front of spinach is GLI. So if you're saying, would you, I'm going to wash the spinach, which refers to it like collectively as a bunch of spinach, which is a plural item. It's confusing. Anyways, is ye, GLI, ye, right? And and I swear like 90% of the people in the class would be like, glee spinachi, and I'm like, at least just don't pronounce the G. Like, that's closer. Anyway. But yeah, I know I think it's a hard sound to pronounce if you're a native English speaker. And there are a few of those, but I don't know. I just get a little bit frustrated when it feels like people don't try. I know it's hard, and I know it's embarrassing. But no one's gonna super mind if you try and you get things a little bit wrong. But it's nicer to try, I think. It's polite, and also you feel better. Anywho. Sledge says city break in Italy then. Maybe? Maybe. I say that because I just, my most recent memory of someone having taken a holiday in Italy was the video that a person whose videos I watch fairly regularly made last summer about how they were robbed while on holiday in Italy, and someone basically stole like all of her clothes. And that's scary. I mean, obviously this can happen anywhere, so the association with it happened to be in Italy is like not, it doesn't really matter because, people steal things everywhere, but still, like, my brain goes, but what if someone steals all my clothes, Anyways. I made some of those myself. Sammy Ann says, good day, Sammy. That's a lot of books and a lot of linguistic tidbits. It's like my Italian friend always correcting me on bruschetta. Oh, now there is a food stuff I haven't had in a long time. I used to love getting it when it was on like restaurant menus. I feel like it was kind of in vogue for a while and then it kind of went out of vogue. It should never go out of vogue. It is like crunchy bread that's warm with bits of like tomatoes and onions and olive oil. It's a perfect food. Damn, why do I never make that? I'm mentally banking this and making it soon. Thank you, Sammy Ann. Also, hi, how's it going? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Sammy Ann says, here, worst case scenario. Assumes it will happen to you. I feel this. Genuinely. It's such a silly way to think because, like, 99.9 times out of 100, this is not going to happen to you, But, like, you hear about the one time it does, and it's like, but what if it happens to you, too? What if? Oh, no. Anyways, it's very hard to think. To be fair, this stuff was snaked out of a car, and we'd need to have a car for that to happen, so Sledge, true. And if we had a car, we couldn't afford to travel, also true. That's like the catch-22. Have car can go more places more easily. Have car, have no money because we spent it all on car. Such fun. Anyways, I do also remember that video that went viral of the lady who would just like follow pickpockets around in crowded tourist areas. And would just shout as soon as somebody was like about to nick somebody's like wallet or whatever, she'd just shout like, "Attenzione, pickpocket!" and they'd like run away. It's like, you know what? Yeah, if you see that kind of thing happen, just make some noise. Just shame them into leaving. That's good. Anyways. Bookshelves. Right. These books, this book is a little bit shorter. This bookshelf is a little bit on the piss. Oh no, the hero we didn't know we needed. I know. I think it came out that her political leanings are a little bit kind of terrible. But just goes to show that sometimes, like, the worst person you know can have a good point and do something pretty okay. Um, I don't know what the lesson there is, but there you have it. This is a large book. A weighty tome. And then maybe, I don't know. I always find it quite difficult when you're trying to, like, cultivate the impression of randomness. It's a very weird thing to do. Vanilla Axolotl, welcome on in. How's it going? Lovely to see you, Vanilla. Welcome on in. Vanilla says, hi, Vanilla. How are you? I am pretty good. I'm drawing books. I'm drawing so many books. I gave myself way too many books to draw, but you know, other than that, pretty darn good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Lurking to paint turtles and join a phone meeting. Ooh, I hope you have a lovely turtle meeting, Sammy Ann. Thank you very much indeed. Eddie is lurking to do some crochet. Very, very nice. I will continue. I will continue shelving all of these books. Whew. Okay. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer to the viewer here. So the books are getting a little bit bigger, which does make my job a little bit easier. I'm just gonna pop in a section of, I'm gonna put a second book here, and then there's some, it's just stacked up some books on their sides, because you know what? Why not? Sometimes it be like that. I'll just enjoy the hands and watching the sketching, says Sammy Ann. Aw, thank you very much indeed. Have a lovely, lovely lurk. Thank you, thank you. And will my lungs work correctly today? No. My lungs are having a time. They really are. I bleached my hair a few days ago, so now I have blonde hair, says Vanilla. Ooh, very nice. Very, very, very nice. I hope you have fun with it. I used to bleach my hair a lot a few years ago. I would go like a sort of like a lilac color. I stopped because I wanted to grow my hair quite long. It's getting quite long now, which is lovely. But it also means that, like, my curl pattern has kind of come back. And I'm just waiting. At this point, I'm waiting for my hair to get gray enough that I can add the lilac back in. And it is getting there at alarming speed. So here we are. It is rapidly graying. Hooray! Adding pink streaks, says Vanilla. Ooh, very cute. Very nice. Love that for you. Oh, that sounds like it's gonna look very, very, very cool. Very cool indeed. Okay, bookies. Right, here is a book. This is a nice thick book. I feel like I need to make more thicker books. More books that just have a lot of things to say, because there are quite a lot of thick books out there. I just tend not to read them. Maybe this section is a lot of, like, historical biographies, which tend to be fairly sizable books. This one especially is just, it's just huge. But also I like these shelves because you can't see too much of them. They're just kind of poking out here, which is quite fun. Anyways, I am getting through this tea, like, very quickly, which is great, but also between this and my other one, I'm gonna run out of tea soon, which is wild. Eddie says, if it makes you feel better, my hair is turning rapidly gray all of a sudden as well. Yay! Yay! But that's fun, because then you don't have to bleach it before you dye it another color. Though gray hair has a different porousness to bleached hair, so sometimes it doesn't take fun colors as well. In my experience of trying to get my salty and peppery bits a little bit sort of pinkish purplish, and finding that, to be honest, I can't tell the difference and it kind of blends in. But hopefully when the whole thing is just a head of silver, I'll be able to do whatever the flip I want with it, and it'll be super fun. And I'll just be varying pastel shades, which, I mean, is nothing new. Like, you know, believe it or not, in the days of, like, black and white photography, ladies were dyeing their hair interesting colors. We just don't really have a record of that because they're in black and white. But even back in the 18th century, people were using like, when people were using hair powder, which is basically the same thing as the dry shampoos you can get now. But people would use hair powder in the 18th century, but they didn't just use like regular hair powder. It came in different colors. You could just use like the sort of the base, like it was usually made out of like wheat starch or something like that, or rice starch. You could just use like the base sort of like white, which if you used a lot of it kind of just made your hair look a little bit lighter. Or you could get one that was colored like brown or black, so it kind of blended in better with your hair. Or you could get like blue or pink or violet. So people have been having fun with hair colors for years. Anyways. Vanilla says, I might be going to a baby shower soon. Oh, congratulations to whoever the parent-to-be may be on their impending little one. That's rad. I hope you have a fun time. It's going to be at a church, and that means I'm going to be seeing my friend again. Oh, very nice. I hope you have a fun time. Sledge got Wordle in 4 guesses. Very nice. Well done. Here's hoping I remember to do it when stream is done so that my streak is maintained. Which remains to be seen, but... but never mind. I do just like when the like your streak number goes up in Wordle puzzle. And I feel sad when I forget to do it, so here's hoping I remember. There we go. That'll do. Oh, so many bookshelves. Oh my goodness. Whew. Now I just have to do the scary difficult bookshelves. Oh good. I'm really glad I designed this bookshop in this way. Okay. I mean, it's not that scary. It's just put books in and kind of try and have them. Maybe I'll do this side first. I'll do this side first. Just have their spines kind of align with the thingy. Trying to pull up like reference images so that I can see what the heck do bookshelves look like, and it turns out it's hard to find good ones. Oh no. Okay. Like this is great, but it's also quite low res. Okay. See, we can't see the top of the shelf, which kind of complicates things a little bit. Theo, thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you. I hope you enjoy me trying to mess around with like bookshelf perspective, which it turns out really does my brain in a little bit, but I think I'm figuring out how it works. I think I sort of am. I think we're getting there. Am I doing a good job of it? Oh, I guess we'll see. We'll see about that as well. But we're getting there. Books and books. So many more books. Okay, all of the book spines hanging out here. Good. Now these ones a little bit more complicated because we can see the tops and the bottoms of them. Oh no. And I think it's not quite I think the first one's probably not quite flush with the outside of the shelf, so it'll kind of go like this. Okay. And then this should not be as nerve-wracking as it is, but it's kind of nerve-wracking. Is that normal? I don't think that's normal. It's just very, I don't know, large. And so I'm like especially mindful of doing an acceptable job of it. I think this one is slightly, it's quite close to this sort of edge of the shelf though, but the one next to it, I think that these can be of varying heights as well, I reckon. And this one's a little bit wider. Oh. It's too big. Oh, I don't want this oh, God. This is fun. And by fun, I mean this is hurting. Trying to do this is hurting my brain. If only we had bookshelves in this room that had a lot of bookshelves, like books on them, so I could try and, like, guesstimate how this should look from just looking at the bookshelves in my room. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, most of the bookshelves in this room have, like, Warhammer supplies or Legos or other such things, I suppose. I mean, there's some shelves of DVDs behind me. And yes, we do still have shelves of DVDs and some books, but they're the wrong angle to where I'm hanging out here. So that's also a thing. My brain. Oh, my brain. What is this? Okay, what is this one book doing? Okay, I think maybe can see a bit of this bit of this book. Maybe? How does that... No, hold on. Not this one. Not there. Oh, this is so confusing. Sorry, my brain is very much just having a moment with this. And it is not a good moment. How do books work? Oh, jeez. Okay. I think the next one along is going to be a slightly larger... Ooh, that angle is not good. You can see why I normally try and complete, like, the sketchy phases of things before stream. Because otherwise you end up in situations like these where I'm like, what am I doing? And, like, redoing stuff over and over again because I can't figure it out. Or I'm indecisive and I can't decide whether I'm happy with the way that something is looking. Okay, I do think I want these to be fairly flush with, like, the edge of the shelf, because I think someone does occasionally come round and kind of give them a bit of a zhuzh, if that makes sense. So hopefully that's all right. Anyways, okay, I think so far so okay. Then maybe, okay, so maybe the next book along is going to be a little bit shorter. It's a little smaller. Like so, and that means we can see a bit of this book's cover behind it. Whew. Confusing. What is perspective? I don't know her. I don't like it. I get that sketch process part before stream, says Sammy Ann. Sometimes I get a bit antsy too. Remembering people are watching versus the off-camera moments. Fear not, I support multiple attempts. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very much I do. Okay, so I think that works, and then the sort of this next one here is maybe actually. Ooh, what if I hold on. Hold up. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is gonna like that, because this one is also gonna be a little bit further than the one next to it, so you can see it's just sticking out a little bit more. And this one you can see a little bit of the shelf under it, because why not? Does it make sense? I don't know. And it's getting bigger because it's getting closer to us. This book is very tall. These books are very tall. I don't know if these books make any sense. I just don't know. Huh. Anyways, I do want to tell you... Oh, y'all, I want to tell you a story about a thing that happened to me in real life. So... I was in the coffee shop yesterday, and I had a little bit of time. And so I brought, like, some art stuff with me to maybe do a bit of sketching, and I did a sketch, and I made an Instagram video about it and everything. Here's the sketch that I did. But anyways, as I was doing this sketch, I noticed that there was a fellow who was, like, a few tables away from where I was sitting, and we were kind of like facing each other's direction. So I could see that he also had like a little thing of like art supplies and was like drawing stuff, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's nice to know I'm not the only person who just shows up to some place and wants to sometimes do a little art along, you know what I mean? Anyways, so this is what I sketched, but the fellow apparently I've been sketched. It was really lovely. He did a little sketch of me. You know, alongside perhaps whatever else he was doing, because as I was leaving, he sort of like waved to get my attention, and he held up his paper, and it was a little sketch of me, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. So I decided to do last night do a little sketch of him with the sketch of me from memory in my sketchbook. This is no doubt not exactly what he looked like, but still, here's the nice fellow who did a little life drawing of me in the coffee shop, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. So yeah, here he is. Anyways, I haven't like done it any pen or anything, because actually one of the things I did notice about him was that he had a very colorful neck scarf. And so I was gonna wait until the colored pencils that I ordered arrived. I ordered some colored pencils, everybody. I find that this sketchbook is very not conducive to using like wet media. Like, I attempted a little houseplant here, and I just don't really like the way that it works with like wet paints as well. So I decided to get some colored pencils so that I can do colorful things in my sketchbook as well. And I think some people may have seen, I put the call out on Instagram the other day to be like, hey, what are some colored pencils that you guys like to use? And a number of people very, very helpfully replied with what they've used, or what they really like, or what they've been recommended. And I took all of this information and I took it to the website of a retailer of art supplies that I like to use. And I narrowed it down to a whole bunch of them were all basically the same price, so it made it really hard to pick. So I ended up picking the one that had the best for what I would want to use it for, the best spread of colors. Because, you know, sometimes you'll get like a set, because I only got a set of 12, because I figure that's probably a pretty good starting point for someone who hasn't used colored pencils since getting the like Laurentian colored pencil sets every year in primary school. I was so sad to learn that Laurentian doesn't make colored pencils anymore, because those were my childhood. Anyways, but I got a set of colored pencils that had, I felt like, a fairly like good comprehensive spread of colors. Some of the ones that I looked at, I noticed there was like, okay, there's like 3 greens and literally no blue in this set. This isn't gonna work for me. I like things that are blue sometimes. So I found one that I thought was quite good. I ordered it. It's arriving tomorrow. And I also, because I have zero chill, ordered some pans of a paint that I've wanted to try for a little while. It's the super granulating watercolors from Schminke, which basically are like, each color is a combination of 2 different pigments. Or possibly two or 3, I think, pigments. So you get this weird sort of like, you get this like quite a lot of granulation from each of them, which looks really cool, especially on like a nice textury paper like this. But also you get these sort of like interesting sort of the blend of these 2 colors that kind of shifts comes together to create a new color. And it looks really, really interesting. So I got 5 of those that I thought was a good spread of, gives me a good number of different types of color to work with. And I want to try doing some probably landscapey stuff with it, because it feels like the kind of thing that's going to be conducive to like a landscapey kind of situation. So probably some landscapey stuff. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Sammy Ann says, it gives a feel like we are peering through a stack. I like the perspective. Oh, good. Thank you so much. We're about to get some even more perspective, so I hope it keeps being good. Rad. Thank you so much for saying so as well. I appreciate it. Sip it time. Delightful. Okay. Where are we? We're here. Okay, so. So I think for this one, I'm gonna put this one a little bit further in. to the shelf. This one's been sort of pushed backwards a little bit, I think. Just because, because I think it'll look cute. Do I need any other reason than I think it'll look cute? No. I just think it'll look cute. So that's what I'm going to do. Excuse me. Like so. Because of where we're at, we might see a bit more of the books. The sort of top bit of the book. Which, what sort of line am I looking for here? What is perspective? It's kind of okay, so the back of the shelf is going like that. It's going like that. And it's going like that. Oh, perspective. Oh, I love perspective, but also I hate perspective. It's nasty and it just belongs in the bin. Because it confuses my little brain. Oh, yeah, that line is not as it should be. Hold up, that book has fewer pages at the bottom than it does at the top, and I feel like that's a fairly unusual situation to find a book in. That's also not. Jeez, this is one of the times when I feel like, it's probably nice working in digital when you can just have like a tool that lets you put lines in straight, because I very don't have that, and you can super tell. Ugh. Little bit jank, but you know what? That looks like a book. That looks like a book. Hooray! It's book. Alrighty. Anywho, at least we don't have to do too many more on this side. Because they're larger, I feel like I need to kind of fuss with them a little bit more. I might even try and give like this book and maybe the one next to it over here like significant titles because they're big enough that you can probably read them. I think that's kind of fun. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm just thinking out loud, honestly. But anyways, how's everyone's week been? I don't think I've asked how y'all's weeks were, but how were y'all's weeks? What did you get up to this week? How have you been doing? I hope things have been good for you. I have personally had an interesting week. It's been very busy, as usual, which is why I'm still drawing these books and I hadn't finished doing it. Lots of proposed changes to some things that I do in other parts of my life, that nothing bad, but just possible change. That's all fine, but I kind of hate when everything is in sort of like the theoretical phase where, things are still in discussions and I don't really know what's going on or when things are going to be implemented, and so I don't know how to plan for it, and so I just feel like I'm kind of like, can I just forget about this for a while and just get on with my stuff? When it's just like, oh, change is coming, let's be prepared. It's like, okay, but when? Just give me an exact date so that I know exactly when I need to start thinking about it, because I don't want to start thinking about it before then, because I can only hold so many things inside my brain. So that's been going on this week. As I said, I bought some new art supplies, which are arriving tomorrow, and I'm very excited. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I really, really, really want to get into using my sketchbooks more. I've got a few sketchbooks, actually. I've got this one. I've got one sketchbook that I actually have put things in, and that's this one. And to be honest, I still don't use it. Oh yeah, I also put the first page, I just drew a giant bum, which is probably against TOS, and I shouldn't share it here, but, I did that so that the book was pre-ruined, and now I can put whatever old nonsense on the other pages and not worry about, is it a good work of art? Because I do get that block with sketchbooks, and I've had that block with sketchbooks for years, where, like, this sketchbook is super cute. Like, look, it's got a Magritte painting on it. I bought it in Brussels at the Magritte Museum gift shop. I didn't go to the museum, but I did go to the gift shop because, honestly, we didn't really have a lot of time to hit up museums when we were there. We were only there for like 2 days. So my priorities were, like, find someplace good to have brunch. The brunch was spectacular. Absolutely lovely. It was like buckwheat pancakes with poached rhubarb. Y'all. Turns out that the brunch place that I found was Australian inspired. I don't know what it is about Australia and New Zealand being like absolute brunch hubs, but like the brunches, because another place that I went to for brunch last year, which sadly closed, which is really sad. I think the location was not ideal because it was kind of tucked on a little back street, and I think people just didn't know it was there. Anyways, was it turns out New Zealand inspired brunch, and again, so good. So good. I don't know what it is about these two countries and being like absolutely like killing it when it comes to brunch stuff, but they super are anyways. But yeah, priorities like finding someplace good to have brunch. If I'm only in a place for a couple of days, good brunch and good dinner and railway stations. Real talk, like just railway stations, because you know I love my stations. Anyways, hey Aoife, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome. Just talking about my hesitancy to use sketchbooks as much as I should, and then I got onto a tangent talking about a trip I took to Belgium last year. Anyways. But I've struggled for a long time to use sketchbooks because this book is so cute. I don't want to ruin it with my artwork. And so I tried to solve that by drawing just something stupid on the first page. It's just a butt, you know, like whatever. But I still have a bit of a like, oh, I look at some of these pages and I'm like, oh, this, you know, these sketches aren't very good. It's like, that's the point of a sketchbook, is that you can just draw stuff that's of like potato quality and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But I also drew this, which I think is very good. That's myself and my significant person in celebration of our anniversary, because we have been together as of a couple weeks ago. We've been together for 10 years, so I wanted to immortalize us in a new little piece of artwork, and so I put that in my sketchbook, which I think is nice. But you know, and then like this, which I did yesterday in the coffee shop, of a couple of little guys in a coffee shop. Anyways, but yeah, trying to get over the everything has to be like aesthetically perfect to go into a sketchbook, which just really blocks you from making anything. And I think part of it is that the sketchbook pages that people share on social media are all always so pretty. Like, they're so perfect. It's like, how are your doodles this good? It's a finished artwork. The inadequacy seeping into my bones. Like, when I do a little doodle, it's ugly and bad. Why? No, I'm melting. Anyways, thank you very much for the 5 streams. Steak! Thank you very much. Woo, streaking, says Aoife. Thank you so much indeed. It's always lovely to see you. Much appreciated. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Oh my goodness. And now, in fact, Pinegeist, hello, welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday. Here's to you. Delicious. Delightful. Right. Bookshelf. Adding more books to it. Okay, let's do this. What if I actually... Okay, I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. Pop another book here. This book has really been shoved to, like, the back of the shelf, I think. Because it starts, like, here. But it's also a little bit taller than you, so it goes up to there. And then there's where it... more or less parallel. Just about getting it right. Nope, I can't get my hand to do the line at the angle that like my brain wants it to be. I have to go sideways a little bit here, I think, to get it to sort of curve off in the right direction. Yeah, for some reason that was a lot easier to do when it was on its side, which is really bizarre, but here we are. Truly, I haven't the foggiest as to why. Never mind. It's all good. Good enough. That'll do. More or less parallel. Oh, why is it doing that? Why the heck is it doing that? I think the answer is that the shelves are just kind of wonky. But that's okay. But on the other hand, maybe we can't see all of this book spine because the next one along is actually sticking out a little further forwards. Like thus. Like it's like here. Like so. It's also a little bit shorter. There we go. Oh god, oh no, that is so broken. Hold up. No. There we go. Okay. And I'm just gonna wipe off a little bit because we don't need to go right to the edge there. There we go. Okay, that is, ugh, oof, ouch. That's brutal. Okay, we got there. We have some weird, misaligned books with these, you know what? I think some of these books have scoliosis. Never mind. It's fine. And I'm not gonna worry too much about it. It's just because these books are the closest ones to us that I wanted to try and make the perspective not be too broken. But the perspective's a little bit broken. But listen, this is a painting by me. Do you expect the perspective to be perfect? Because you shouldn't. It's me. You know? Everything's a little bit funky in this world that I paint in. And that is entirely skill issue and absolutely nothing. Definitely not a deliberate choice. Wait, no. It's the reverse of that. It's definitely a deliberate choice and absolutely not skill issue. That's what I meant to say. Oh no. I've been found out. Oh, I'm clutching my chest. My imposter syndrome is showing. Anyway. Sorry, I think I amuse myself more than I ever amuse anybody else. But, you know what? If I wasn't amusing myself, I wouldn't be streaming, so also good. Anyways. I maybe want to take a little break from bookshelves before I finish out these ones. And get a little painting done, actually. If that's alright with y'all. Because I am also doing a little piece here in the, sort of a little bit of a, I don't know, an I don't know area. It's kind of a what is it? It's where the beach meets the woods. It's that area. I'm gonna grab my paints because I realized that they're on the other side of the studio. One moment, please. Oh, such a long trek. Oh, will I ever make it back in time? Who knows? Oh, goodness gracious. Did I bring enough provisions for the journey? Oh, beans. Here we are. Hi. I'm back. Hello. Anywho. Today, I'm using what I love the name of, Japanesque color. The Shadow Black Gansai set, which is, these paints are lovely. I love, if I can get it to zoom, get a load of the texture on that. Is that not just delightful? I love the texture that these give. It is so interesting. It is so interesting, and I think it looks so good. I think, so I need to do some tree stuff. I want to do this kind of wall of trees. So I think for starters, I'll probably just pop down just like a light layer of sort of base tree green. And then we'll kind of go in and have a bit of fun with it from there. Okay, I'm not gonna fill this all the way up, I don't think, because we're not gonna do a ton of painting, because we do need to also finish sketching. But I wanted to keep things fresh and interesting, and I know that watching me put pale gray lines down on a piece of white paper is not necessarily the most thrilling stuff. So, Wanted to switch it out a little bit. Do some greenish paints. Ooh, it's so like I've barely picked up any paint with my brush and it's already so dark. This paint is lovely. It's very nicely pigmented. I love the way it behaves. It's so fun. Okay. And I want this to be a quite wet wash because I do want to be able to go in and then go back in again with like additional layers. Can I see my pencil lines? My pencil lines are extremely vague. So I think I'm just gonna start painting bits in, and whatever bits I paint in are the bits that will be where the trees begin. And once we've got sort of a layer of green down, then we can kind of mess with different trees being slightly different shades of green, different levels of green. Finding ways of indicating which of these are maybe a little bit further away from us. Which one's a little bit closer? But first of all, just a nice base layer of green to start us off. Okay. Happy little trees. I'm hoping that these trees are happy. Trees, I hope you're happy. Now's the bit where I hope my masking fluid has worked. Oh, heck. Yeah, I think we're all right. Cool. Cool. And now we just have a happy little mess of trees. Okay. And now I can't do anything with this for a little bit because I would like that to dry first. Yay! Okay. That's super rad. Thanks for letting me take a tree break, everybody. This piece is kind of starting to come together, which is really nice. It's one of those things where, like, once you start painting, you're like, does this look stupid? Does this look dumb? Is this gonna look bad? And the answer is probably not. No, it's gonna look fine and good. You're just not there yet. And I mean, right now this looks really stupid, but that's because we're on step 2 of like 25. So it'll get there. But let's leave that to rest and come back to our bookshelves for a bit. I will clean what's left of that out of my brush for the moment. And actually, you know what? Before I get started on this again, I am going to take a quick BRB, I think, and then we'll take a look at filling in these shelves here. So I'm going to take the last sip of my tea. Which was delicious. Thank you, tea. I can finally show you what this mug actually looks like. This is the Moomin mug. They're having a nice Moomin and his bestie Snufkin are just having a nice little date together. Making some pancakes over a little campfire in the mountains, which sounds ever so idyllic. Look at how cute they are. I love Moomin stuff so much. It brings me so much joy. And then on the other side, we can see that Moomin Mama has come with them, and she's taking a dip in the lake. You see, she's left her little apron there, which is the only clothes that she wears because Moomins don't really care about clothing. But I love her little apron. I think it's so cute. And she's got a little flower crown on as well, which is very nice. It's nice to see Moomin Mama kind of letting loose and just having a little bit of fun. Because, you know, she gets a lot of stuff done, Moomin Mama, and I do like Moomin Mama. I think she's fantastic. I could not pick a favorite character. But I did take a which Moomin character you quiz once, and so I was not expecting this, but I got Moomin Mama, so there you go. Anyways, nice mug, says Aoife. Oh, thank you, Aoife. Much appreciated. What kind of tea? That was a very nice dark pu'er tea with coffee in it, which is actually really delicious. Wasn't expecting them to go together, but it's very nice. Hello, Turnip. Turnip says, returning from Lurk to go, yay, Moomin Troll, yay, Snufkin, yay, Moomin Mama. Thank you very much, Turnip, and I hope you have/had a lovely, lovely Lurk. I am about to be right back, so we will be here for a moment. Please say goodbye to the BRB music, and back to me. Hello. So whilst on BRB, I had a little conversation with my moderator/spouse who reckons that what I'm probably hearing, I don't know whether or not it's picking up on the microphone, but what I am hearing, actually, hold on. I don't think you're hearing it very much. Anyways, what I'm hearing out the window that I'm interpreting as a power tool is possibly, I could see that someone in my sort of neighbory area has a very deflated tire, like on one of the wheels of their motorized vehicle. So wondering if they're attempting to like pump that back up so that they can actually drive their vehicle. That might be what I was hearing just now. Anyways, the other thing is related to the Moomin mug. I wanted to say I am aware of the fact, I think it's been talked about in the Discord as well. We do have a Discord. I'm going to pop a link to the Discord in the chat just in case anyone is not a member and wants to join. You can. You get to find out when I'm streaming. You get to let us know when you're streaming. Share artworks and stuff and just chat about this, that, and the other. It's a pretty quiet place, but we have fun. And yeah, anyways, it's a nice place to hang out. There is a video game coming out in like just over a week called Snufkin: Melody of Moomin Valley. And I believe it's out on PC and Switch. And I am planning to get it because, oh my goodness, it looks so stinking cute and it looks like a lot of fun. And I'd love to stream it. But I don't know what's a good day to do it. I could conceivably, I do occasionally stream on Sundays. I used to stream every Sunday, and I kind of had to dial that back when I added a second art stream on Thursdays, because it turns out that you need at least one day off in the week. So I've kind of given myself a bit of a day off back, but yeah, I'd really like to play Snufkin: Melody of Moomin Valley on stream. And I'm debating whether I could conceivably do it on, like, in place of an art stream earlier, or, I could do it, I think, Sunday the 20-something of March. Like, the March Sunday before the one that's the Easter weekend. I actually don't have any plans, so I could conceivably do a little Snufkin stream on that week. I still haven't finished the Assassin's Creed Pirate game that I've been streaming on Sundays, and I'd like to get back to doing that as well. But just because of time constraints, it needs to be a sometimes treat now rather than an every week thing. Because I just simply don't have time. Or I'm a very tired bear. Anyways, it's out that soon, says Turnip. Yes, I've been so excited for that game for so long. Yes, I am very, very excited for it as well. I don't actually know how much it is to, like, purchase. I haven't looked. Hopefully it's not, like, £70, or I will cry. I'm looking it up right now. I also don't know how long the game is. It seems like something that would be kind of a couple of hours, I feel like, just from what I've been able to kind of gather about it. But I don't know how much it is. Dun dun dun. Store.steampowered.com. Let's see. Well, the pre-order is... It's loading. The pre-order is loading. Just out of curiosity. Coming 7th of March, this game plans to unlock in approximately 6 days. Currently, it is 10% off if you pre-order it, and it's £16.19. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think my budget can extend to that. So, yeah, we'll play the Snufkin game on stream. Assuming that I can get it to, like, work and play properly, we'll play the Snufkin game at some point. Not too long after its release, but I can't play it on, like, release day, because that's a little too soon, and, yeah. Anyways. Shall we draw some more bookies? Oh, oof. Drawing in, like, shelves and stuff I feel reasonably confident in, even though none of these lines are straight. They're all sort of like, but, you know, also these bookshelves are medieval, so, like, whatever, it's good enough. Oof, ouch. The putting of the books on it, for some reason, is just making me feel real nervous. I want it to look... I want it to look like a shelf full of books, that's all. I just really would like it to look like a shelf full of books, oddly enough. Anyways, I shall try my best. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is cough a lot. 'Cause my, oh, good, I just got a notification that I have a new follower on Instagram, and it is a super fake fan page for my one and only celebrity crush. Ugh. I'm sorry, why do they make fake accounts for this guy? He's not even that famous. Like, my mom definitely doesn't know who they are. Like, what is happening? I don't understand. Anyways, But yeah, I'll get, like, weird, like, fake pages that are like, oh, this is my second account. Hello. And I'm like, no, you're not following me. I mean, have I been perceived? Yes. As in, like, actual person has liked my art on Instagram, which was real flattering, but, you know, apart from that, stop looking at me. Anyways, I really hate those, like, make-believe fake accounts. I think that's deeply uncool. Anyways. Okay, I feel like I can get away with the one sort of further away being a little bit less detailed and a little bit more just like, yeah, it's books. Because they're a little bit further away, so that's fine. Okay, this shelf especially, why is it, this shelf is so small? How is anything going to fit on this shelf? I think everything on this shelf is kind of stacked onto its side, honestly. So I will draw them in accordingly. Ugh, no, what is that line? I don't know what that line is doing. I need to actually go like this to, like, see it correctly. I need my eyes to go on an angle to be able to draw it at the correct angle. Okay. This one's a little bit... This one's kind of sticky outy of the shelf a little bit. Like so. Oh god, this makes no sense. Just honestly, just don't look at this shelf. Just whatever you do when this painting is done, do not look at that shelf. It makes no sense, okay? Just shh. Just shh, don't look at it. Oh no. I've really set myself some interesting times with this. Why did I do this to myself? I could have made it so much easier, and apparently I was like, no. What if you made it harder though? What about that? So apparently that's what I did. Okay, great. Great, love that for me. Okay. Okay. What is this book doing? I don't know anymore. Oh, none of these lines make any sense. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay. None of these lines make any sense. Oh no. Okay. Well, that's... you know what? I'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it. Let's just move on. This is just a weird stack for like tiny little like terrible gremlin books because it's obviously not in proportion with any of these other shelves. So these are just really tiny books for mice. I don't If I'm giggling a lot, it's because I'm nervous because I don't want to make this. I really want this painting to look good. But this is a lot of brain-breaking work. And it really is kind of my moderator / spouse is up. I think he was having a little nap. He's a CP bear. He's had a long day doing a lot of good work. He's a very lovely fellow and I love him very much. Anyways. Okay. I think for this one I'm gonna just pop. You can see a bit of where the shelf joins the thingy because this book is a little bit far from the front of the shelf. So, oh no, oh no, what is this shelf? Oh no, oh no, next book is, oh no, this shelf is bad. Oh, I think the shelf, I think because it's far away, the shelf is actually quite narrow and I'm trying to add too much detail for this area. So I think really what I ought to be doing here is just kind of like book. You can't really see much of these books at all, so it's just, I'm just going to start putting in sort of lines. Because we're over here, it's like you can see the entire book. You can see every leaf of paper on these books. These ones back here, the perspective is so compressed that it's just like, book spines, meh. I'm just gonna paint in some lines. There are books there, and that is enough of a visual shorthand for you to understand what's happening, and your brain will figure out the rest, and I am overthinking it. That's... Okay, we figured it out. We got there. Hell yeah. I'm taking a sip of my tea. Sorry about that. This is why I don't normally catalog the this process because it really does get just weird. Cuz yeah, you really can't see much of these guys at all. So I'm just gonna just sort of mark in where I want some book spines to be vaguely visible. And then I'll figure out the rest. It's so sketchy, but it really doesn't need to be more detailed than that, I think, at that distance, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I like to be perfectly honest. I try to be an honest streamer. So there you have it. Actually, maybe if I hold up. I've just had a thought. I've just had a little thought here. This one's a little bit further down. But then there's like another book that's just sort of like just crammed like on top of these ones, so it's kind of messing with what you can see. Because I think that's quite fun to do as well. Okay, there you go. This is hard though. This is hard and confusing. But never mind. It's just kind of all... That one's a little bit shorter than that one, so it goes that. Okay. Just speeding up on this a little bit. There we go. And this shelf here, you can see a little bit of the... Sorry, I'm making all kinds of fun little, like, sketching noises as well, just my little, like, do songs. Oh, there was this comedy sketch, like, years ago, where someone is, like, at a bus stop or something, and just use that little sort of, you know, just waiting for the bus, and he's like, do. And the guy next to him is like, oh, you like that song, huh? And he's like, what? And it's like, I guess. And he's like, I wrote that, you know. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you know that song, do. Yeah, I wrote that. And they get into a bit of a disagreement over it, because he's like, nobody owns do, and he's like, no, sorry. He goes, do, that one, I wrote that. Fresh memes. I think that was definitely a Canadian comedy troupe, but I can't remember. I think it was on the radio. Back when I would listen to sketch comedy on CBC radio. Good times. Good times. There we go. Okay, it's books. It looks enough like books. I'm happy with that. These ones are quite a bit closer to us, so we can get a little bit more in depth with what's going on with them, I think, which is fine. And my lungs can fail to work correctly. Yay. Anyways, I don't know what it is with my lungs lately. I've really been struggling to, like, actually keep them full, which is interesting and super fun. But anywho, what was I gonna say? Can I try and keep this line somewhat level? Shall certainly try my best. Ugh. So getting a little bit farther along. We can't see the tops of these books, which makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Some books! Yay! That was easy. Obviously we can still have books that are kind of leaning at a bit of a funky angle here. So I'm gonna have this book kind of just chillaxing, as you do. Which means that we might actually be able to see a little bit of the rest of the book, as it were. Because it's kind of leaning against this guy, so we can kind of see, like, there's the rest of the cover, and there's a bit of shelf. Oh my goodness, this is sophisticated and confusing, and I think I've maybe gotten the angle slightly wrong there. I think it'd probably be more like that. Let's see, where's the... It's like that. That looks super broken, but you know what? Let's just go with it, and I'll fix it later. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. Now we're kind of reaching, it is of slightly more import that these make some shred of sense, which is, always the worst part. Always the worst part here is when they actually have to make some kind of sense. No. You know I ain't here for that. Oh, beans. Okay, this book is A somewhat weighty tome, but a little bit shorter. But then, hold up. How? Okay. The one next to it is rather tall. So it's like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And also a little bit further forward. Just right flush with the edge of the shelf. And so's the one next to that. Which is a very stumpy little buddy indeed. But an interesting read, I am sure. Okay. Alright, we have another shelf that just about makes sense. I mean, is it good enough? I don't know. I need to take a break from this again because I don't know. It turns my brain into porridge after a little while. So, I'm gonna do a little bit more tree-ish stuff. Get some tree-ly sort of layers in here. What shall I use? I just go in with a little bit more of the green. Maybe add a little bit of brown to it, actually. Just to get some of the somewhat more backgroundy trees to kind of recede a little bit, I guess. Make them a little more shadowy. Anyways. What's for dinner, y'all? What are y'all having for dinner? Are you looking forward to are you having some pleasant snacks, some delicious good food? I hope so. I am having, thrillingly, I'm having some salad. And I'm going to be making some falafels to go in it, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Because I love falafels. I mean, when I say making, I don't mean like fully from scratch, by the way, because I don't have time for that after stream. No. I will be taking some falafels out of a box and putting them in the air fryer. That's what I'm going to be doing with my falafels. But listen, I am tired. And I don't have a ton of time to cook after stream, so I usually like to make something that's, like, pretty straightforward. I feel like works well for me, in that way. God, this looks so jank. I know, I'm sorry this is like the Sammy talks smack about their own artwork stream. But it's just because we're working through a lot of, like, layers of work that it is gonna look jank until, I've added, like, more stuff. And that's fine, honestly. That is genuinely fine. Because it will get there. I have quite high hopes for this piece. It's quite sort of dark and deep and dull right now, but I can tell you right now that these little lanterns I'm using... I am so excited for this. I'm using, for the lanterns, my neon ink set that I got as a gift from my moderator/spouse, which is... if I can pick up the box without breaking it, I have the very thing here. And, these are the colors, except they're brighter than that when they're not on the box. Like, they are bright and I love them a lot. But I haven't found a lot of uses for them yet, but I did one sort of test piece that I absolutely adored. I'm really looking forward to having some more fun with them. So I think using them to color, like, some brightly colored, like, paper lanterns, I think would be a really good use, just to capture that sort of glowiness. This is gonna be really cool. So hopefully that'll be fun and nice and good. We shall see how we get on with it. In the meantime, sketching out some more books. Let's do this. Okay. So here we're starting to see this kind of a situation. That. This little book spine here. And then what's next to it? It's this little guy. Thus. Okay. Just hoping and praying that these books make some semblance of sense. Very much I hope that they do. Hold up. Maybe if I do this, like so, and then this one is like here, because this one is right at the edge of the shelf. So. Okay. Perspective is hard, and perspective is hard to draw on stream. Because I feel like I'm really putting myself on blast for, like, not being very good at this, but never mind. Maybe a lot of these are kind of tall and you can't really see the tops of most of the books anyways. I feel like that's a not terrible solution. So I think if I pop this one in here, so, and then the next one beside it is rather nice and tall. And the one next to that is also rather nice and tall. So to be honest, we're mostly just seeing the spines of these books, and they're getting a little bit larger in volume as well. This one is a slightly further back on the shelf than the one ahead of it, so kind of do that thing. Like so, and then, you know what, next to this guy, I think we're going to have kind of like, just like a stack of books on their sides, honestly. Because we're still getting these. Oh no, that is some bizarre curvature. Hold up. I can do that. I think part of what breaks my brain about doing some of this perspective-y stuff is just that I actually need to be like, tilting the paper as I do it so that it makes more sense to my head. Just keep sort of turning as I go to try and get the angles more or less as they would like to be. There, and that's all of them. You can kind of see that book cover just sort of wandering off into the distance. You know what? That'll do. That's a bookshelf. Is it good? It's fine. Actually, I think that bookshelf's not that bad. This bookshelf is my favorite so far, even though there's only like 3 books you can see on it. I think the 3 books look kind of nice. But yeah, okay. So for this shelf, I'm gonna, nope. Hold up. Oh no, I think I accidentally erased a bit of the shelf there. Aw, jeez. You just pop that back. There we go. No. Anyways, I'm quite looking forward to having falafels. I know it's like pretty basic, but you know, I haven't had them in a little while, and they are, I think, a very comforting food stuff. You know? So to that, and I am quite looking forward to having them. I think that'll be nice. This book is too tall. This book is taller than I would like it to be. This book should come up to here. There we go. It's more like it. That's a happy little book. Very, very good. Very delightful. I think maybe we can't see. Ooh, you know what? Actually, hold up. The next book is slightly in front of this one. Or like it's slightly closer to the edge of the shelf, so it's kind of obscuring a bit of the top of that one there. Which is very cool of me. Good times. Okay. Cool. Okay. And then another book can live here. This book is a little smaller. It's only like this tall. It's not quite at the very front of the shelf. It's another reasonably sizable tome. There we go. Yay! Would you read any of these books? What's your favorite section? What's your favorite Dewey Decimal number, if you know any of them? And yes, we did cover what number 069 was last time, and the answer is, like, museum studies. So, not as fun and exciting as one would hope that the silly number would be. And then I think if I remember correctly, 420, the other silly number, is like it's linguistics. It's the linguistics section lives in 400. So it's something to do with like English language, like phonetics or something like that. I used to know all of this stuff off by heart because I had to because of my job. It's amazing how much information we just kind of push out of our brains as soon as we no longer need to know it. I say, like, recalling all of this stuff from years ago. Sexy museum studies, says Eddie. I mean, you know, museums can be pretty nice. And pretty quiet. So, they're nice to go on dates, too. So, I mean, yeah, they could be a bit sexy. Whew, why not? Sexy museum studies, indeed. I'm into it. I'm gonna have a book that's like on its side here. Because why? Because fun, that's why. And then this bottom shelf here, I'm just gonna do a little so book, and then next to that another little book, and that's about all we can see of that shelf because it is slipping away into obscurity. Yay, we finished drawing all the bookshelves. Oh my goodness. Eddie says, Nix and I had some nice art museum dates. That is rad as heck. Ceramic and allied technologies, says Sledge. Ooh. What is that in reference to? Oh, 666. The sexy number. The sexiest number. Is that, okay. Yeah, that is ceramic and allied technologies. Yeah, that makes sense. All of the sort of the like tech stuff and materials and that kind of thing is all in like the 600 range. It's where you find like health and food and automotive repair. There's a lot. Yay, fun, says Eddie. I do like a museum. I visited one of our local museums last weekend to meet up with some friends for like a little coffee and cake sesh, because there's something just inherently comforting and nice about a good museum cafe. Even if you're not there to visit the museum that day, to like do a whole like tour of the museum, which I've done a couple of times and I really should probably do again because it's been many, many years. But the cafe is delightful. Like, it is so good. Wow, okay, yeah. This was a lot. But we finished sketching the books, rather. Sammy says, oh my, I just got off the call and this is fabulous. Look at all those shelves. There's so flipping many of them. There's too many shelves. And they're all full of books, and the books more or less make sense. Like, perspectively, logic-wise. And if any of them don't make sense, just don't look too closely at them, okay? I tried my best. And actually, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. My bibliophile is beaming, says Sammy Ann. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Museum sketch trips are fun, says Eddie. I mean, if you can bring yourself to soil your sketchbook with sketches, it sure is. Which I am trying to do. I've managed. I bought this sketchbook last August, and here's as many pages as I've filled of it so far, and here's how many I haven't. But I'm getting better about it. I am getting better about it. I did talk about it in the little video I posted to Instagram. Last night. I still can't figure out. I cannot figure out Instagram. Instagram is a nightmare, and a hellscape, and very annoying. Because I don't know. It's just like a low self-esteem machine, I feel like, for me most of the time. Which is, I need a validation machine. That's the difference. What's the opposite of Instagram? Where do I get like, artists, do you know where the source of validation is? Because I can't find it. Anyways, hey, Sunshine.
Serious question.
Hello, serious answer incoming.
I have finished the double cluster. Would you rather I finish off the lactose-free cheese or open the second pack of double cluster?
You can have lactose-free cheese if you want. It needs eating up, and I haven't had it in a few days, and I'm not planning to until the weekend, so yeah, go for it. I was going to have porridge or something tomorrow for lunch, so please eat the cheese. Thank you. Anyways. Sorry. I don't know if you heard the other side of that conversation, but my moderator / spouse was asking whether he can have any of the special lactose-free cheese that I buy for myself because I can't have lactose anymore. Or I can have lactose, I just have to take medicine at the same time as I eat it. But just for safety, I buy the lactose-free cheese so I don't need to worry about it, because sometimes I still get tummy aches. But, Sammy Ann!
Sami Ann Art cheered. X100. You do art for you. I'm happy to be along for the ride.
No, you! No, you. Also, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. That is just ridiculously sweet of you. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Very, very, very kind. I think Sunshine is the validation machine, says Eddie. You know what? He does a very good job of it. My dear Twitch user, Sledge Callier. I love you, Sunshine. He's a good egg. Anyway. I guess I could start painting this. But I almost feel like maybe I should just work on painting this and, like, start painting this in earnest next time. Partly because I'm nervous, and I also realize now I hadn't actually decided what paints I was going to use for this one. Oops. So, let's add some more paint to this one while I mentally debate what paint I want to use for the bookshop. But I'm so happy with the way it's looking. I think it's looking really, really fun. Actually, oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. When I finish this piece, which hopefully won't take 9 weeks, but given the number of tiny, tiny books, it may not be the shortest. It may not be the shortest piece to do. However, that being said, after I finish this, I really want to get back into doing some like lino cut printing, because I haven't done any of that in quite a week while, and I think it would be a nice thing to do. So yeah, would folks be into seeing carving some print blocks and then doing a little print with it? I think that'd be fun. I'm not sure what of yet, but I mean the possibilities are pretty wide open, so could certainly get creative with it. But I love doing lino printing. I think it is so much fun. It is such a good time. And you can get some very cool results. And I've loved all the pieces that I've done with it. Even the ones that are like a few years old, I still look at and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Those turned out really cute. So I can't say that about every medium that I play with. That I can look back on it in a few years and not just kind of be like, oh, you know what? I kind of want to revisit this because I feel like I could do it better now. Which I do a lot with. Sometimes I'll look at an older painting and be like, you know what? This still hits for me. This works really well. This slaps. And then sometimes other older paintings I'll look at and be like, you know what? I kind of want to try revisiting this because I can see what I was trying to do, but I feel like I could achieve it better now. That's a fun exercise actually. If you do art, to like go back and take something that maybe you weren't 100% happy with when you made it, come back in a couple of years and then like remake it with your new set of skills and see how you get on with that. I think can be really interesting, can be really useful as well. To do, and also just really nice to be able to be like, okay, I really liked this concept, but I feel like I didn't quite get to what I wanted to do with it, but maybe I can do that now, is kind of really nice to do. And there's a piece that I did, I think maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't remember, but I was really... The composition in theory I thought was really cool, but then the execution of it didn't quite hit for me the way that I had wanted it to. And I feel like I could probably go and take the paints that I used and make something a little bit better with it. We have some suggestions for possible lino print stuff, and Eddie has suggested some bats or a nightcrawler. Oh my god, a nightcrawler would be a perfect, and I kind of want to do that now. If you are not familiar with the nightcrawler, they are one of my absolute very favorite cryptids, and I will show you. I did just a painting of a nightcrawler a few months ago, and I'm just finding it on my Instagram so you can see. This is exactly what the nightcrawler looks like. They are so cool. They look like this. Tee-hee. It's just this sort of like long, sort of ghostly white creature with these long legs and no apparent arms or anything. They're just some legs. And I think they're so cool. I love them so much. Oh wait, not the X-Man, says Slush. Oh yeah, that's a point. Did you mean the X-Man, like from the X-Men Nightcrawler, like the character, or did you mean the Nightcrawler is in the cryptid? Because my brain goes to cryptids. But yeah, Sammy Ann says, what is your version of a Nightcrawler? Oh, I'm in love with this little friend. Yay! Glad you approve. I am such a fan, and I think conceptually it's something that would work very well as a print. Also, I think that'd be fun. So yeah, maybe I'll do a Nightcrawler print next. I think that would be a good time. I do like doing the occasional little cryptidy thing. Love to do like a Bigfoot-y type situation. Cryptids, and also, all the different types of yokai as well. There are lots of, sadly not X-Man, but cryptid stories, says Eddie. Aw. There is the, I know that, is it out yet that, like, actually the music is running through my head now because it was mentioned. They've done that, like, animated series that is basically, like, a continuation, I think, of the old 1990s X-Men animated program, and I do kind of want to watch it because I loved that animated show. I was like, these characters just really, I find them very relatable for some reason. When I was a contemporary of that program. It's out in a few weeks with Sammy Ann. Rad. X-Men 97, of course, because of course the show was from the 90s, and I think from what I saw of the trailer, I think they do quite a good job of harmonizing sort of like a contemporary show with the animation and art style of the original, which is quite cool to see. Hopefully it'll be good. My curiosity has certainly piqued, more so than most like comic book type stuff of late. I don't know. I used to be really into a lot of comic booky things. And then I kind of lost interest, I think, just because it got so, in terms of like films based on comic books and TV shows based on comic books and all that jazz, it went from being like, sort of, for most years of my life, like a semi-steady dribble where like a comic book movie was like an event to look forward to. It's going to be a silly, fun thing that I'm probably going to enjoy. And it went from that to being like, you have to have watched like the last 5 TV shows they put out on this streaming service, or you're not going to understand who's who in this movie. And I just got so tired. Anyways, Turnip says, I'm so excited for X-Men 97. The original was my first nerdy love. Yes, right? Oh my goodness. I don't know. Of all of like the superhero things, I found the X-Men the most sort of like relatable when they were on back in the day. I think, because they are kind of misfits kind of thing. It was like, yeah, you know what? I feel this in my bones for some reason. But Sammy Ann says, I'm just mad that the Wolverine is not the same voice. Mr. Bloom is still around and can still do it. Aw, beans. Well, I hopefully whoever they've got to do the voice acting for it is a good. I'm sure it'll be delightful. I definitely have superhero burnout, says Sammy Ann. Yeah, absolutely, me too. But this one might get me back to the table. We'll see. If I can bring myself to get around to watching it instead of just rewatching the pirate show over and over and over again. Which I am doing on iPlayer at the moment because both of the seasons that they've done are on iPlayer. And so I've watched them a couple of times because I'm super normal about pirates. Listen, I was made to have very intense, specific interests, apparently. Anyways, and that is one of them, at the moment. Anywho, I'm waiting for these trees to dry now. I can't do much until these trees are dry. Oh no, I've done it to myself again. But that's fine. We're not in any hurry today. It's all good. Oh, I can show you I did do a couple of sketches of things that I would like to at some point paint out of this watercolor block. This is my favorite dimensions to work with, I feel like. This is my favorite set of dimensions to work with. This like 3x4 watercolor block. I can't do like detailed landscapes or anything with something this size, but I can do little portraits of little guys. So I've decided to do sort of a little formal portrait of the two gnome husbands. Hold up. Little formal portraits of the two gnome husbands, and the lore of these two little portraits is that they have these like framed and hanging up somewhere in their little cottage, which I reckon is in like the bottom of like a hollowed out very very ancient tree kind of thing somewhere in the Enchanted Forest. But they have these two little portraits framed, you know, sort of like right next to each other. So I had to paint the little portraits, and then at some point I'm going to have, you know, something in some room of their house, and you're just going to see two little framed portraits of the two of them in the background, and it's going to be these, because I like putting my own paintings inside my other paintings. But I bought a whole bunch of these 3x4-inch watercolor blocks, because I really, really want to do I want to do a physical media tier on my Patreon. Will there be any call for a physical media tier on my Patreon? I don't know, but I thought it'd be really cute to do just a small, like a teeny tiny little, original painting that on one tier of my Patreon that would be a little bit more expensive because it's an original piece. But not too expensive because it's also only 3 inches by 4 inches. And I don't know if anyone would be actually interested in doing that, but also because it's an original piece, if nobody subscribes to that tier, I just don't do any work. I haven't wasted any time or money on it. But then if somebody does, I'll paint them a little guy. I think it would be fun. I just need to paint some representative little guys to be like, this is the kind of thing you can expect to receive on this tier. I've thought about doing like a sticker tier or something like that, but the minimum numbers I have to print in order for stickers to be cost effective is a large enough number that I'm genuinely not confident that that number of people would subscribe to my sticker club, at which point I would just be losing money. So that's a maybe. That's kind of up in the air. I've had some internal debates about it. But anyways, catching up with chat. Sammy Ann says, okay, so I had no idea what the pirate show you talk about is, and then the trailer has been invading my ads for weeks. I'm intrigued. Sammy Ann, you should watch it. It is a triumph, a tour de force. Genuinely one of the best things I've seen in a very, very, very long time. And I think the most important thing about the show to me is it's funny and it's diverse, but it's also very kind in the way that it does everything. And that's very important to me. And also it's just very good. The production design is gorgeous. The directing is gorgeous. The acting is superb. The writing is lovely. It's just a really good show. It's just a really good show. It's also very gay, which makes me happy, because you love to see it. You love to see a show that A, has the representation that you're craving in television, but is also good and something you want to watch. And for me, as like an older person, is queer but not about teenagers. That's nice. I like seeing people my age experience things, you know, that feels good. Anyways, it feels like it was made for me, you know, like, I don't know, a neurodivergent queer person of about 40. So, yay! Finally, something that's for me. Anyways, Eddie says, at the moment, they say, as if they'll ever not like Pirates of the Pirate Show. You're right, they will never stop liking Pirates of the Pirate Show. Before the Pirate Show came out, I was already planning to build myself an 18th century capsule wardrobe. You can see why my interest was piqued by it. Sammy says those are just perfect in size. It is the best size to art. It's so good. It's not the most conducive to arting on stream because it's so little. But I really love doing little portraits in this dimension of paper. I think they're just so much fun to do. But yeah. Eddie says physical media tier is very intriguing. Thank you. I may be soliciting opinions from the world at large over the next few weeks to try and figure out what people might be interested in. Just get some interest checks. If I can get anyone to vote for like, yeah, that would be interesting, then I might start planning stuff. But it is hard to get a read. And I mean, I recognize the percentage of people who say yes, that would be cool, versus the percentage of people who would actually subscribe is like 10-1. But you know, it's worth checking in anyways. So I'm gonna check in and see if I can just, you know, expand the ways in which you can enjoy the things I do, I suppose. Oh, yes. Sledge says, confused by comments about Wolverine not being the same voice actor in X-Men 97. The actor in the new series is the same as the original X-Men cartoon. Steve Bloom didn't take over until the 2000s. Oh! Interesting. Thank you for letting me know. Anyways, I have a terrible drawing time. I have been tasked with drawing Wolverine. Thank you, Sunshine. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to let you know, just in case there's anyone here who isn't familiar with what terrible drawing time is. Terrible drawing time is a phenomenon whereby for the low price of just 5,000 channel points, I've got 5 minutes or less to draw a character of your choosing from memory or sight unseen. I accept no responsibility for any psychic damage that may be incurred as a result of your terrible drawing. That being said, the psychic damage is almost always self-inflicted. So, the animal or the comics character, who knows? Or possibly a combination of the two. Let's find out. You know, I think you can't hear me because I'm a little far away, but, where's my terrible drawing canvas? There it is. Found my terrible drawing canvas. Yay! Okie dokie. Alright. Here's my current terrible drawing canvas. Hello. So, I'm pulling up my clock app. Not TikTok, my actual clock app. I don't have TikTok. I'm too old for it. I think there must be an upper age limit for TikTok, and I am above it. Anyways. Oh, jeez. Okay. But I am allowed to use the clock on my phone. Anyways. Right. Timer. 5 minutes on the clock. Oh, you can kind of see my... Oh, you can see my reflection. Hi. Hello. How's it going? 5 minutes starting now. Let's go. The animal or the comic character? Or do I attempt to draw some unholy and stupid-looking hybrid of the two? I don't know. But let's put him... I'm distressed by Long Bandicoot still. It is... It is quite possibly the most disturbing thing I've ever made. I'm gonna put Wolverine right over here, I think. Oh, what does his, like, he's got, like, a weird cowl with, like, funky things on it. What does it look like? Okay, I'm gonna draw in his little nose. Like, so he's got a little nose just like that, and then he's got little eyes, like so. Doot, doot. He's got a little mouth. Oh, he's looking a little grumpy. This guy. He's looking a little grumpy. This guy, because I feel like he's got kind of a reputation for being a little bit of a sort of gruffity, grumpity kind of guy. I'm forgetting the fact that I am in fact under a time constraint. I feel like I'm harnessing like the energy of something as cute as the Wolverine like animal. So he's got kind of a mask on like this, but then it's got like For reasons wholly unbeknownst to me, it kind of goes like this, I think. Because I'll tell you what, if you've ever seen what a real Wolverine looks like, it does not have horns. Why does he have horns on his suit? I don't know. But he's got like horns, and then he's kind of, I think in the comics he was originally kind of like short. So I'm gonna make him quite short. He's got his little like X-Man suit on. And his little arms. He's got his little hands, and they're going like shoot, shoof, shoof out of his hands. Maybe has he got little glovies on? I'm gonna give him little glovies, because why not? That's fun. Shoof, shoof, shoof. Is it three sort of wolf claws that he's got? I don't know. Anyways, here's this is exactly what he looks like. How does his? I know that there's got to be some kind of like he's definitely got like some kind of gloves on. I feel like definitely got some kind of like silly glovies, and maybe there's some like go faster stripes on his little like X-Men costume. Is there a little like X logo on it? I feel like there might be, so I'm just gonna put it right sort of in the middle of like where his chest meets his tummy. Just so there's absolutely no ambiguity that he's an X-Men man. Oh shoot, or is it on the belt buckle? It might be on the belt buckle, but never mind. There's another X on the belt buckle, just so for the absolute avoidance of doubt. I'm gonna pop some additional stripes up here just because I feel like it matches his look really well. And his shoes are just boots. And he's got really hairy forearms. So I'm gonna pop that in. That is one thing that I definitely remember about Wolverine, is that he's definitely got he's quite a hairy little guy. So I'm gonna actually add even more stubble onto his face. Just, again. And I'm gonna shade this in, because I think I've got 37 seconds, so I'm gonna shade this in. Like so. And I'm going to shade in these little go faster stripes. And also his little gloves and his boots. Just so he looks a little bit more complete. Maybe I can color in the little letter X as well. There we go. Oh, doesn't he look just... Hey, Zamzamzop, how's it going? Zamzamzop says belt buckle is important. You know, it is important because he's got, like, you can't tell, but he's got, like, no butt, and if he wasn't wearing a belt, his trousers would absolutely not stay up. With this body shape, like, come on, seriously. Anyways, here he is. Sledge, darling, I hope you're happy. It's Wolverine. That is exactly what Wolverine looks like, right? I'm gonna have to do a little image search for Wolverine now and see how wrong I am. Right, let me pull that up on the image search. From the multi-part documentary series I watched, says Long Island as Tech. Also, hi, how's it going? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. I understand that he looks a lot like Hugh Jackman. Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe I should have just drawn Hugh Jackman. I mean, I remembered that his uniform has, like, weird horns, and I don't know why. Okay, so there's a couple different versions of Wolverine, so I'm gonna try and pull up two representative examples, and we'll see how I did. So here's two versions of Wolverine I could find. So again, just so Wolverine and Wolverine. How did I do? Obviously, this is a Wolverine. They are very cute. I don't know how dangerous they are. They might be, I mean, they're wild animals, so they're probably a little bit dangerous, but they They are very cute. They look like something between a bear and a weasel to me, which again, very, very cute. This is the comic book character Wolverine. So, hey, oh my god, y'all, are you seeing this arm hair? Let me zoom in a little. Are you seeing how hairy his arms are? I remembered that. I gave him, I think his gloves are a little bit longer here, and he's got sort of weird sticky out shoulder details, like little, I guess they're almost like little cap sleeves, on his like sleeveless uniform. But I mean, I didn't do too badly, I don't think, but I made him grumpy and hairy. I put an extra X on his uniform just for absolute unambiguity, and I gave his costume the weird unnecessary horns. So, yeah. I feel kind of okay with that. Anyways, Zerazian, hello, welcome in. Just FYI, links are disabled in chat. Mostly for the avoidance of spammers. But also just FYI, the sharing of links for, like, artworks and stuff is reserved for, Raiders art tax. But if there's anything that you did want to share in, like, the Discord, you absolutely can. We have a section for it, and we love to see it. So just so you know for future. But thank you so much, and I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. How is it going? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Yes, a weasel says Long Island. Oh my god. Yes, exactly, a weasel. Anywho, I can't believe we drew all of these books. I cannot believe we drew all these books. Yeah, let me pop a link in the Discord, to the chat, to the Discord, which is here. If anyone would like to, if you're not in the Discord and you want to join, it's a quiet place, but we have fun there. It's also where you're most likely to be able to find out when I go live. I do post it on socials, but I do, if you want a notification, you can get a notification from there. Anyways, but this is, we finished drawing all of these books today. And I'm slightly flabbergasted because it is like a stupid number of books. And they more or less make sense. Don't look too hard at some of them, or it might break your brain, but I feel like we did kind of okay. I might need to do a little bit of fine-tuning as we paint them, or before we paint them, but like that's not a big deal. Seriously, thank you very much for following. Welcome on in. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to actually painting this. But I'm gonna have to call it there, I think, for today, because this little bean needs to cook dinner and is I've been like hungry all day, so I feel like I should probably go have myself a food. Other things, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, we are I do have a VOD channel now on the YouTube, which is also in the Discord. There's a link to it in the Discord. And, I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to exist because it went to Google jail, but I managed to get it out of Google jail. But it's going to take some finagling to get all of the VODs up there because I don't have an Epidemic Sound license for it. And I use Epidemic Sound music on the stream. Thankfully not in the background of most of the stream content, so it's fairly easy to edit out, but I do have to edit it out before they can go up on the channel. So it's a little extra work, but it's not a lot of work and it's not a big deal, and I honestly don't expect anyone to watch the VOD channel, so like don't worry about it. I do have a regular YouTube channel as well though, and I am working on the script for the next video. I have all the specialist equipment I need for it, and I think it's gonna be fun, and I think it's a good thing that I'm doing it now, because there is some wording that would threaten to get me demonetized if my channel was monetized. Anyways, hello Alba, welcome in. How are you doing? Great timing, yeah. I'm just about to finish. I'm so sorry, but it's so good to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a good one. But yeah, programming note, I'm gonna be streaming as usual tomorrow, playing, working on the Hollow Knight, my neglect / save the day run, where I am balancing the karmic scales. I got the neglect achievement by not saving Zout, but I have every intention of saving Cloth instead. So that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be streaming some more Celeste soon. as soon as I finish the game. Great timing, says Sledge. And Alpha says, I always have the best timing. Wonderful timing. You got here before we finished, and I got to say hello to you, and that's super nice. The other thing that I want to announce, and I will mention this in the Discord as well, is that this Saturday, March the 2nd... The fact that February ends on a 20-something always throws me off, but March the 2nd, this Saturday, I will be on friend of the channel Kirby's stream. In the evening, 7 p.m. we're starting, I believe, playing a little RPG that is entirely improvised called You Awaken in a Strange Place. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the hell happens with that, because I don't know, because none of us do, because it is entirely improvised on the spot, which is, I've played it before, it's a lot of fun, and Kirby is very good at running these just truly chaotic games with the truly chaotic people that he keeps inviting onto his stream. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very looking forward to it, and I hope to maybe see some of you there. In the meantime, I'm going to see if there's someone we can do a raid on for today. Before I completely lose my voice, which is, oof, it's on its way out, that's for sure. But let me take a look and see who is streaming, who we might do a little raid on, who we maybe haven't raided in a while. Oh, would you look at that? Our friend of the channel, Marianne, is streaming rather. So I'm gonna raid Marianne because I haven't had a chance to raid Marianne in absolutely forever. If I have ever raided Marianne, and I genuinely don't know whether or not I have. But let's go say hi to Marianne. And I think that'll be nice. Oh, Kenny says, oh, Beans, I already started the raid. Can you save it for next time, Zamzam's up? Can you save it for next time? I'm so sorry, I've already started it, but next time for sure. Okay, let me generic raid message in the meantime. But Marianne is lovely and does some really, really sweet art. If you're not familiar with her, she's a good egg. Let us... You know what I think it would be a good... This is a good raid emote, I think, is Enana. So let's raid with the Enana emote. If you have the emote, feel free to grab the emote. If you don't have the emotes, feel free to just say generic raid message, or grab whatever emote you feel like. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really happy to have gotten this thing finished, and yeah, I hope y'all have a good everything. You're all breathtaking. Hope to see you again soon, and have a good evening. I'll be back tomorrow. All that jazz, yada yada yada. Thanks for watching. And yeah, it's been great. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.